Hi, I'm Tracey from Interiors Monthly, and I'm joined today by Simon, and I'm going to let Simon introduce himself.
Yeah, hi Tracey. Simon Williams. I'm the head of marketing and membership at the National Bed Federation.
Well, thank you very much for joining me today. I'm really interested in finding out a little bit about the Bed Federation, but before we do, if it's okay, I'd like to ask a little bit about your background, how you got into the furniture industry, and how you came to be involved with the Bed Federation.
Yeah, I suppose I'm probably classed as a veteran of the bed industry. I've been in the industry now over 40 years. So I started off as a young marketing trainee at certainly a fairly well-known and big manufacturer based near where I live in Harrogate, called Dunlopillow, which is a big latex foam manufacturer and manufacturer of latex mattresses and pillows and what have you. So a trainee there, had a sort of like a 2-year, fairly extensive, varied training program, and then carried on in a number of different sort of sales and marketing roles with Dunlopillow over a number of years. We then merged with Slumberland in the sort of early 2000s. So I marketed Slumberland as well as Dunlopillow. And then from there, I actually jumped ship into retail and joined Benson's for Beds as head of marketing for Benson's. Worked there for about 6 years, and then jumped back into sort of manufacturing before ending up at the National Bed Federation in 2014.
Wonderful. So you've had a lot of experience, and you've obviously seen quite a few changes in the industry since you've been with the National Bed Federation. What would you say the main changes have been?
Oh, there's lots of changes, I suppose, over the years. But I think one of the big changes is if we go back to sort of 2014 and look at it now in 2025, I think certainly as far as the UK industry goes, there's been the emergence of lots of new manufacturer and brands that weren't around then. So there's certainly been an explosion in the number of manufacturers, I think, in the UK. And possibly lots of things like COVID, had to deal with all that a few years ago. But I think the biggest change from that point of view has been the number of new companies that have come into our market. The mattress in a box brands as well have come in, which I think has, possibly sort of helped the industry as far as getting the publicity out there about it, about how good mattresses can be for people.
You said there's quite a lot of new companies coming into the market. Do you think that there's been a bit of a surge in British companies setting up, particularly since Brexit?
Well, I think the answer, yes, there has, but there's also, competition from imported products. There's always going to be competition from imported products. I think, speak to any manufacturer and indeed any retailer, and, the competition, whereas, going back a while, competition might have been certainly domestic. Nowadays, it's global, isn't it, really, the competition?
So tell me a little bit more about the National Bed Federation. What is it that your organisation does, and what does it have to offer?
Well, yeah, the National Bed Federation is it's the UK trade association for bed manufacturers and suppliers to those bed manufacturers, so component suppliers to those manufacturers. It's been around since 1912, so it's well over 100 years old now as a trade association. And I suppose really, we are, I suppose, in a sense, the voice of the bed industry. We represent the industry on lots of various committees, including sort of standards committees, regulations. We deal with the government on important matters that will affect all our members, such as flammability, for example, is a very big one. And of course, we organise the bed show. We have, our consumer arm to us. We run the bedadvice.co.uk site, which is giving impartial advice on everything to do with beds and buying beds to the British public. And really, yeah, we're there to try and support our members, help them through all the regulations that may be affecting their businesses, and yeah, try and make sure that they flourish in today's market. And obviously, we're there to champion, British bed manufacturing.
Yeah, and that's interesting because you mentioned about legislation. Do you think since Brexit that, I mean, have you seen a major change in legislation, and how is the drive towards sustainability impacting the industry in terms of legislation?
Yeah, I don't think necessarily Brexit has increased legislation. Clearly, unless you're exporting, importing, etc. There's issues there. But as far as legislation on sort of bed manufacturing, etc., I don't think it's had any impact on the amount of legislation, regulations, etc. So no, I don't think so. I mean, obviously, flammability is the big one that is still hasn't been decided. What the amendments to the UK flammability regulations are going to be, but we're hopeful that it's been passed from pillar to post by successive governments and government departments, so they keep changing the minister responsible, so it keeps getting kicked down the alley. But hopefully, that should be hopefully sorted out. We'd like to think, 2026. Who knows? Fingers crossed.
And you said,
Sustainability, you mentioned, sorry, Tracey, you mentioned sustainability
sorry.
there, recycling. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's been something again that we all know how important it is, and we can't continue to keep putting mattresses in landfill. And I think the whole industry, not just the retailers, manufacturers, the supply chain all the way through, is fully aware of environmental issues, sustainability, etc. And there's a huge amount of work going on, and has been going on for a number of years now. I mean, at the moment, too much goes to landfill, and obviously, as an industry, the Bed Federation, certainly, we're looking to try and divert up to sort of 75% away from landfill. That's the target, really.
It's very challenging times for UK businesses at the moment. What do you think the main challenges are that people in the industry are facing right now?
Yeah, lots, too many probably, I would say. I mean, clearly there's huge cost pressures, not just on our members, so the manufacturers and suppliers, but cost pressures on the retailers, bed retailers as well. There's cost pressures on consumers. It's just a squeeze, really, isn't it? I mean, consumer confidence isn't at an all-time high by any means. We have the November budget looming. Goodness knows what the Chancellor is going to do, but all the signs are it's probably going to be more pain, I think, before we see any kind of gain. So, I mean, we've had things like the national minimum wage increases, which affects all businesses. We've had the national insurance increases. So, and again, just cost pressures on fuel, raw materials. It seems never ending, the cost pressures on businesses. And one of the things we have to do as an industry is make sure that we have to pass on those increases where we possibly can.
Thank you. So you mentioned that you've got the bed show coming up, and obviously that's quite an exciting time. How's the preparation going?
It's going very well. Where are we now? Well, it's coming up very soon. Actually, it starts on the 23rd of September. So it's on the 23rd and the 24th of September at the Telford International Centre. Preparation's going very well. We're pretty full, I have to say, which is a good thing. We hold the big Gala Dinner and Bed Industry Awards on the first night, on the Tuesday the 23rd. That's gearing up to be an absolute banger of an evening. We're absolutely full to the rafters for that, so that should be a great evening. Really looking forward to it, and looking forward to the show, to be honest. It's such a great 2-day event. Great sort of melting pot of different brands. Lots of visitors, some great ideas, new products, new marketing initiatives. And at the end of the day, it's great to catch up with people, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And with regard, if somebody wanted to come along, if somebody wanted to get involved, how would they do that?
Well, yeah, it's easy to come and visit. You can go to the Bed Show, so bedshow.co.uk, and on there you can register as a visitor, so pre-register as a visitor. If you're in the trade, you can turn up on the day as a visitor, as long as you've got a business card with you. It's free to enter, we don't charge. Free car parking as well. And we even give vouchers away for refreshments and what have you to subsidise drinks and lunches and things.
Wow, it doesn't get better than that, really, does it?
Does it really? No.
So, if somebody wanted to exhibit, I presume you're full now, are you, for exhibits, for exhibitors?
Yeah. The deadline has passed for exhibiting. But yes, we've got most of the best known UK manufactured bed brands exhibiting, and we have a small number of guest exhibitors as well, which complement our manufacturers without competing against our members and what have you. So yeah, everything. And obviously we have a big supplier area as well. I mustn't forget to mention our supplier members. So obviously all the component supplier members will be there as well, and they have a dedicated, almost like a show within a show, in Hall 1.
So really, anybody in the beds industry, or even looking to get into the beds industry, maybe somebody starting out in their career, it'd be a good opportunity for them to come along and see what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's if anything to do with beds, really, you'd be mad not to be there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's 2 days, and we try and cram as much as we can into 2 days. So yeah, please come along, get involved. Yes.
Thank you. So if somebody wants to join the National Bed Federation, how would they go about doing that?
Our membership is open to businesses rather than individuals. So it's businesses. You have to be either a sort of bed manufacturer, mattress manufacturer, headboard manufacturer, manufacturing in the UK and Ireland. I must stress Ireland as well as the UK. We have some members from the Republic of Ireland, which we welcome into our family. And obviously supplier members. So suppliers can be mainly component suppliers, so fabric, springs, foam, etc., or even services. So if you're supplying specialist services into sort of bed manufacturing industry, then obviously your companies can also apply to join.
Is there a minimum requirement? Do you have to have minimum turnover?
Certainly nothing to do with minimum turnover. No, we like to encourage sort of startup businesses. So if you've been in business, or you've started your business but you're looking to grow the business, but you're only a few years old, then again you can apply to join us. We have a category of membership for associates to join. But apart from that, no, I think at the end of the day, if you're in the bed industry, if you're manufacturing or supplying components into the bed industry, then go on our website, which is bedfed.org.uk. Click on the join button, and there's lots of information there about the benefits of joining and what the criteria is.
So you mentioned bedadvice.co.uk. How does that work?
Well, it's really a website, and we have very active social media presence as well. So Bed Advice UK. Really, it is a website which has what I would describe as completely impartial information about all things to do with beds and mattresses, to start consumers on their bed buying journey. As we know, if you go onto some sites, their advice might not be that impartial, because they're trying to sell their own particular brand, whereas of course our advice has to be generic, because we're representing the industry, and we really want to make sure that consumers buy British beds as well. So it's a good advice site for anybody interested in buying mattresses on beds.
Wonderful. What an amazing service, because obviously everybody needs a good night's sleep. It's so instrumental, isn't it, to your quality of life?
Yeah, we probably, and we just don't value it enough, do we? Really, the mattress or the bed, And there's an interesting fact. We always say that if you people balk at spending say £1,000 on a mattress, okay, and you think, well, yeah, oh, that's £1,000 is a lot on a mattress. But you think, well, okay, if you say your mattress lasts you 7 years, which is sort of an average lifespan of a mattress. I mean, over 7 years with two people using the mattress, it's about 20p a night. And as I say to people, 20p a night, and we're quite happy to spend, £3, £3.50 on buying a takeaway coffee every day, aren't we? But 20p on a good night's sleep is like, that's expensive. So, it's all about, putting things in perspective. You spend a third of your life in bed, as we know. So, you should be able to spend as much as you can possibly afford.
Yeah, absolutely. That certainly puts it into perspective. So, yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It's been really interesting talking to you. I've loved hearing your story and about the Beds Federation and about your advice for consumers, which is amazing, for the service. And I hope that you have a wonderful show. It sounds like it's going to be great, and the gala evening is going to be so amazing. And just thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks. Good to talk, Tracy. And yeah, please come along and visit the bed show if you're free.
Thank you. Certainly will do. Thank you.
Okay. Bye for now.
Goodbye.